All right, welcome back, YouTube. Today I'm gonna do a pivot tutorial in SQL. That's a pretty common function that a lot of people, especially when you're first starting out, struggle with, and it's pretty powerful. So I'm gonna go over that today. So let's go ahead and head over to the laptop. So as you can see, the question for today is how to use the pivot function to get the average price for Apple for the last 3 years as separate columns, right? So that means is rather than have, and let me go ahead and show you the data set so you can see what I mean. So we're going to say select star from stock history, and we're going to say where ticker equals AAPL. Let's run that. Cool. All right. So you can kind of see different years here, and then the ticker price here as well. So what we're saying is we want to rotate these years across here and then get the average price, right? All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna build our subquery first, and our subquery is basically what's gonna it's gonna tell the pivot function what to pivot on, right? So let's go ahead and build that. So what we're looking for here is, and I'm gonna give it an alias, let's say SH. So I wanna get the trading. Sorry, let's start with ticker because I need to know who it is. So at the ticker, and then we're gonna go ahead and do. We need to get the closing price because we need to get the average of that. Right. And then we also need to get the. So we're gonna say date, part year, because we need to get the year. So we're going to say, give us the year of the trading date. And we're going to call that trading year, okay? So let's go ahead and run that and see what that looks like. Okay, perfect. So you can see it running down the list here of all the years, and it's repeating. So now we're going to do our pivot, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to say here, select star from, right? And that is going to be this, and we're going to make this a subquery here, right? Okay. All right. And now from there, this is where you do your pivot part. So you say pivot, again, you're telling the pivot to use this section and then return the results from the pivot up here. So I'm going to say pivot. And what you're going to do is from here, when you write your pivot, you're going to provide it the type of function that you want to pivot on. So, or the column you want to pivot on. So I'm going to say average. And I'm going to say close price. Okay. Now, I'm not going to give it an alias right now, but I'm just going to show you what happens without giving it an alias. So I'm going to say for. And then once you say for, you say trading year. And then we're going to say in, because you're going to give it a discrete list. And I'm going to say, I want this for 2025, 2024, 2023, right? All right, so let's run that. Okay, cool. So you see here how we have the ticker of Apple, and then we have the year for 2025, the year for 2024, and the year for 2023. All right, so that's pretty cool. So now what we can also do is, because right now, for example, you just have the year, and if you were to give this report to somebody, they don't know exactly like what that means, right? They just see it's a year. They're not going to know that's like, did you sell 231 widgets? Did you you go on 231 vacation days? They have no idea, right? So here you can provide an alias that gets appended to the back of the columns, right? So you'll speak it in natural language. So I say 2025 average close price, right? So now when I run this, Cool. So now you see how it says average close price and then pins it for you. Yeah. So that's pretty nice, right? So yeah. So I just want to kind of go and give an overview of Pivot, but if you have any questions, please let me know down below, and also let me know when you've used Pivot, the Pivot function as well.